Today's episode was recorded in front of a live studio audience. No, just kidding. Because it's 2024 and I just got a soundboard. Santa bought it for me. No, not really. I bought it for myself, but I'll say Santa bought it for me. But the holidays just ended. I guess this holiday season. Today's the 1st of 2024. Welcome to 2024, whenever you're listening to this. But I'm still Kirk. This is still Dumb Test Slate. I almost forgot the name of my own podcast. I wanted to record a holiday episode, but I just couldn't. I had an idea about a Santa. Maybe I'll save it for next year or later on this year, 12 months. I'll come back. Don't you worry. But yeah, it's 2024, and I wanted to do a different idea, not just the normal ideas I've been doing for the show combined with what AI says and what AI comes up with. But like I said, I got a soundboard, so I wanted to do something different. So my next idea rotates around one of the conspiracy theories or myths or however you want to call it about William Shakespeare. I do love conspiracy theories. I probably talked about that before. I get a lot of inspiration from listening to conspiracy theory podcasts. A quick note, I'm recording this on a different program that I usually use just so I could get this soundboard going. So if it sounds weird, I'm sorry. I'll try to make sure that's not crazy sounding. Hopefully it doesn't. But yeah, so back to William Shakespeare. So one of the myths or conspiracies about William Shakespeare is that William Shakespeare wasn't one single writer. There are many conspiracies about it, that he was a group of writers, that was a kind of nomenclature for another writer. There was a secret writer behind the name of William Shakespeare. But the one I really love is that the name William Shakespeare was like a name that it was used for many different writers. It was writer troops. There were bunch of poets that used that name, that maybe they couldn't get published by themselves, or they, couldn't get the attention. They couldn't get their plays done, but they came together as groups in different times. It may have been, women or minorities at the time. Different groups that wouldn't get exposure by themselves would come together to write under this William Shakespeare name. So I wanted to go with that idea and have the podcast kind of be a live play or a live TV show. Like I said, it'd be recorded in front of a live studio audience, but the play will be going, and this is how I'm imagining it. The podcast stage, let's call it that will be the live stage of a play going on, written by one of these William Shakespeare troupes, and it would change constantly. There'd be different writers coming up, and they'd be at a group on the side of the stage. So if you're looking at a physical stage, they will be on the side of the stage together discussing things constantly while the play is going on. So you hear that at the side. And they'd be constantly changing things about the play going on. They'd be talking to the actors, they'd be talking to the audience, and be changing things. So stuff would rotate. And that's where AI would come in to get that visualization of a constantly rotating stage. Constantly things changing, from opinions, from feedback, and different actors. And they would just jump up and, if things got a small applause, they'd be like, all right, stop, change out that actor. We need a different actor. If we got a big cheer like that, like, let's do something else. Let's add on that or something. So it would be these plays that would be constantly changing. So the setting of the stage would constantly change. The actors would constantly change. The Shakespeares themselves, the troupe. I'm calling it the 80, but I wouldn't have 80. That would just be, you would just constantly hear the discussion going on with 80 different people. So it would constantly change. I'm calling it the 80 because that's another thing. There's over 80 different ways from surviving signatures of how William Shakespeare is spelled, which is another thing that lends to the conspiracy that it was different writers at different times. It was different people, different poets. That's what I'm calling it, the 80. That's where the title is from. But that's my vision for the show. So like I said, with the soundboard, I will have more of a live aspect of the show, not just me talking, to be feedback. Good one. and have it like that. So that's what I'm thinking, like, because it's 2024 and, I've been doing certain shows with just the idea and and what I use AI for. I wanted to kind of change it up, not to just have the whole show this way, but this would be a theme for a certain set of shows and have another set of shows where I come up with the other ideas from, things that pop into my head and what I combine with AI to come up with. This is like another main theme. I guess I would have like a main theme show that would have episodes. I have these smaller episodes that I come up with play ideas that the William Shakespeare troupe would be working on in real time as it was being performed in front of, sorry, wrong, a live studio audience. Thank you. Oh, yeah. So that's kind of what I wanted to start, because it's a new year, new beginnings, new things, new ideas. That's the trail I kind of wanted to go down on. That sounded weird. The path I wanted to go down towards, or the path I wanted to walk down. I'll get it. But that's the way I wanted a certain set of shows to be. So it'll be called, okay, I've been rambling, so let's backtrack. The title will be The 80. In reference to the different ways Shakespeare was spelled, opening up the controversy of these different rotating writing troupes that will all come under the name of William Shakespeare. Well, they would come from different backgrounds and have different ideas and want structure to be different and want language to be different, in a way the actors who are acting out the plays to be different in real time. That's what way I come in. There's no way I could be that creative. So I would take different things from different like aspects of Shakespeare plays and poems, and basically rework them, or take small ideas that you would think of, and mostly poems. People mainly know Shakespeare plays, but there's a lot of poems. There's a lot of poems that are really good. If you ever look at Shakespeare poems, I think it's the one called All the World's a Stage. That's very good. That one is another inspiration for this episode that I had. So the poem I'm referring to is a speech from As You Like It, which is another play by Shakespeare. But the excerpt goes, "At all the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and entrances. And one man in his time plays many parts." The speech goes on about how, a person's life is acted out in stages. But the beginning of it is like will be my first inspiration, especially having, the idea of multiple Shakespeares, multiple actors, things switch around. So I think I'll start with that. That'll be my first foray into this path of the 80 Shakespeares. That'll be my first inspiration. All the World's a Stage. Maybe I'll find a way to listen to the audiobook as you like it, because there's no way I'm going to be able to read it. That's what I think about Shakespeare. I want to get more into Shakespeare plays and poems and speeches and all that. But it's written so long ago, it's really hard to read through. And honestly, I'm not, good at reading through like that old English. But I will, because you never know what small inspiration you'll find in it, especially something written long ago and you're applying it to today's world. But yeah, this is going to be a shorter episode because I wanted to get something out on the first, start out on a good note. And this, of course, is an idea that's still brooding and building in my head. Hopefully I'll be able to expand on it more, especially with my, my little soundboard here. Yeah. So I'm still, no, sorry. Sorry. I have and I wanted to use it. But yeah, so that's going to be the first path I go down for this podcast for 2024. Happy 2024. Also, if I didn't say that again, that made no sense, but oh well. Yeah. So the 80 Shakespeares, that's going to be the first thing up. This is the first episode this is like the planning episode of it, when I'm trying to get the idea out. Then I'll build from there. the first episode, the next one up. Hopefully I'll have it up soon. Be inspired by All the World's a Stage. And I'll have more sound effects. So I'll do some work. Me and AI, me and the chatbot. We'll come back with something new next time. So look out for that. 2024, that's what's going to be our first path down. 2024 is going to be the 80. But thanks for listening. I'm Kirk, and this is still Dumb Test Slate. So hopefully you'll hear from me soon and have a happy 2024. Bye.